Hey sewing friends, I am a member of a sewing group online called Pants and Tops Sew Along, and one of the moderators asked for some help in the spring and said, hey, I need a couple people to lead some sew-alongs this summer and fall. So I signed up for summer, and originally the plan was jumpsuits. So after doing a little bit of polling from some of the people in the group, I discovered there were only a couple of people that really wanted to sew a jumpsuit. Otherwise, the rest of us were like, jumpsuits? They're great, but... And that therein lies the drawback of the jumpsuit. When you need to use the bathroom, you need to literally disrobe and pull everything down to the bottom. So no one likes that. So I said, well, I'd like to go ahead and make a two-piece set. And two-piece sets are all the rage this summer. So two-piece matching set it is, and I want to go ahead and show you a little bit about what I'm going to be using, the patterns I'm going to be doing, the very tiny, basic, beginner level pattern modifications I'm going to be doing, and some of the things I'm going to be matching with it. So when I set out to do something, I usually look in my stash and say, what do I have a lot of? Because if I'm going to make a two-piece set, I might need some fabric. So I've decided to go ahead with this bright fuchsia cotton lycra knit that I got at, I think, Spandex House in New York online. And I have a lot of it. I have, I think, like 2.5 yards maybe. So I have enough actually to make the top that I'm looking to make, the cropped pants I'm looking to make, and probably to make a turtleneck in the winter, which is, I think the original reason why I bought this is because I just love the color, and I thought, oh, that'd be super bright for January to have a nice turtleneck made out of that vivid color. So I should have enough to do all three out of that, given the patterns that I have. So let's dive in and let me show you what I'm going to be making this, doing this with. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to create a two-piece set that had the look of a really fun casual garment, like a cropped wider leg pant, maybe a drawstring waist, and maybe a top with a deeper V and maybe a kimono sleeve. So I looked at first the Friday Pattern Company Saguaro set, which is an absolutely beautiful set, and if you're making something in a woven, you might seriously want to take a look at that set for your faux jumpsuit. I am not going to be doing that because I feel that my middle is not quite suited for a little bit of crop there in the middle. Now they do show it on several different models, including a couple of plus size models, and I do think it looks great on them. I'm just not sure how awesome it would look on me. So I decided to do my own and have a little bit more coverage, a little bit more meat and greet between the top and the bottom, and I'll show you the patterns I'm working with here. Let me grab a pencil. So I'm going to need a pencil, and I'm going to show you a couple of things here that I'm doing. First of all, I'm going to be working with two sewing patterns that I have made before, the Christine Johnson Patterns wrap top, and then also the Christine Johnson pattern taper and wide leg pant. I'm going to be making that wide leg version. So with these patterns, which are both designed for cotton lycra knits, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and make exactly the look that I want. So let me show you what I'm going to be making. So here's my line drawing of the top, and here's my line drawing of the pants. And what I'm going to be doing is, and I've got my trusty ruler right here if you've got a clear ruler, what I'm going to be doing is, and I've got a notebook here that I'm going to be doing it on, is I'm going to be taking, you know what, let's move some of these fabrics out of the way here. We don't need them just yet. I'll explain more what I'm doing with those in a bit. So let's get those out of there, and then let me show you what I'm going to be doing with this, okay? So I'm actually going to be cropping the pants a little bit, so I'm going to draw a line here, and I'll show this to you in just a second. I'm going to be cropping the pants, oh, yay, about there. Okay, so above the ankle. These are a full-length pant. Probably you can come all the way to the floor. I'm going to be going above the ankle, really into that kind of like really like, not capri, but like way lower calf, above the ankle of the wide leg. So I'm going to be making that, and as you notice, it's a basic elastic waist, no side seam. Now, Christine actually has directions on her website for how to put a side seam pocket in a dart. So essentially you have a dart here, so it's no side seam up to here, and then you actually cut this open and you insert a pocket in there. So I'm going to be doing that as part of my video series here, so you'll be able to get a chance to see that. I've made this before with another pair of pants that she does this with, and I think it's a really neat technique, and I'd like to show it to you. So I'm going to be doing a pocket in a dart right there. Now the top is a basic dolman wrap top, and as you can see, it's got these little points down here. The back of it is straight across. And so, and I think you can see that, she actually doesn't have the line going on here. I'm trying to see if there's one on the inside. Nope, there isn't. But it's actually straight across in the back. And I've made this before, although this is a fresh pattern out of the envelope because I happen to have an extra copy for a different reason. But what I'm going to do is leave the points in the front because I think they're going to create this jumpsuit look by kind of either tucking into or hanging down in front of the drawstring of the pants. And I want to create that faux jumpsuit look. But the back is just a meet and greet, so it's actually going to meet to the top level of the pants, which also gives me that fun little two-piece set look without having like all of that belly bearing stuff going on, which I don't like. But the sleeves, I'm definitely not making a long sleeve. It's summertime, I don't want that. So I'm actually going to modify the sleeve to look something like this. And I'm going to get my ruler out, and I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to go parallel to that. And I'm going to bring that in about like that. Okay. All right, that's what I'm going to be doing with the sleeve. So it's going to become wider and squarer than it was before. And that's so I can create that wider kimono but still short sleeve look. Now, you could also, if you wanted to, simply take it and just crop it at the length that you wanted it, like here, for example, and just leave the width of it exactly as it normally is and crop it. That's another option too. Now, I'm actually going to cut this, but if I need to, I can go back to this by just simply tracing the pattern back on. So if I decide I don't like this wider look, I might go back to this. But in any case, I'm definitely taking off the lower part of the arm. I'm not just not going to need it. This is a great fitting wrap top. It's not too low, but Christine does have a raise the wrap technique on her website. So if you need to take a look at that, you can do that. So that's going to be the pattern that I've chosen to make my two-piece jumpsuit for summer. Now that'll give me a little cap sleeve wrap top, and it'll also give me a pair of drawstring waist pants with some pockets in them, side seam pockets, in a cotton lycra knit. And the nice thing about this cotton lycra is it's very snappy, so it's got a little bit of firmness. Now I will say this, a little bit of firmness in a fabric that's going to be cut for a garment that's cut reasonably close to the body. These are not oversized garments. Reasonably close to the body is good because the firmer the fabric and the squishier you are, the better it is, right? So that's kind of the rule of thumb. So this fabric does have a lot of really good snappy stretchiness to it, so it's going to be a perfect choice for this, right? Lots of, this is the cut edge, so this is the vertical grain, and this is the cross grain, and this is the angle. So this has got a lot of stretch in it. So this is going to be perfect for this garment. The top will wrap nicely, it'll close nicely, it'll still be cotton lycra, so it'll feel cool in the summer. I can do a drawstring waist. The pants normally have an elastic waist that you stitch the elastic on to the rudge, flip it under the top stitch. I'm not going to be doing that way. I'm going to be making a casing and a couple little buttonholes and put a little drawstring in there. So that's when I'm going to be doing the modifications. Now, the reason why I decided against a jumpsuit, besides the whole bathroom thing, which you guys totally understand, is that I wanted to be able to pair it with some other things. I think this color is just awesome, and putting this in the bottom in a pair of crop pants in the summer is just going to be incredible. Plus, I do intend to put it with a navy blue Geo tank top. So if you haven't seen the Geo from Merchant & Mills, it's an asymmetrical tank with a wide strap and a skinny strap and a nice angled top. I've made this before one time, and I'd like to go ahead and make another. So this is some navy linen that I have left over from a pair of pants that I made, which the Geo top will also go with that, but it'll look great with that fuchsia. Plus, take a look right back there. That is my my unfolding jacket from Wixton. Now, if you don't have the unfolding jacket, there are lots of other similar type patterns. The ready to sew Pika is another one. There's 3 or 4 of them. They have a larger collar and an oversized kind of kimono sort of shape. Obviously, it's not a kimono itself, but it's that similar shape. Plus, I got this remnant last year at my local fabric store. If you can see that, and while it doesn't look like it totally matches in this video because this looks super bright, it actually does have some of the same similar color tones as my fuchsia, and I think it'll look nice. And this is going to become a swing back tank top from Hot Patterns. So I just have just a yard of this, so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze that out. So those are my pieces for my little mini capsule here. I'm going to have a couple of tops, at least 1 pair of pants, and it's going to go with other things that I've already sewn in my wardrobe, like jeans or like the current pants that I'm wearing, which is a pair of blue linen and cotton skinny leg Pietra pants from Closet Core. So that's what I'm doing with my jumpsuit. So again, I'm making the Christine Johnson Patterns wrap top and wide leg pant, both in a knit, and I'm putting them together to look like I'm wearing a jumpsuit. So stay tuned. I'll be putting up videos on my blog at Sew Paradise, and I will also be putting them up on YouTube, so you guys can go ahead and see the techniques that I'm using to do these very simple, very basic pattern modifications that don't take any time at all. So check them out. And if you really want to know and follow along, you can join the Pants and Tops Sew Along. I believe it's called Pants and Tops Sew Along, and it's a Facebook group. So if you just search for it, you should be able to find it online. A lot of the members use our Big Four patterns, or what used to be the Big Four patterns. I like to use indie patterns because I've been in the industry a while. So I'm using some indie patterns, but if you've got some other ones that do similar things to this, go ahead and choose the patterns that work well for you.